The results are in this morning. We know which candidates are moving on to November's election after yesterday's primary runoff.
And that includes Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton, who very easily defeated incumbent U.S. Senator John Cornyn.
Chris Sadeghi joins us now from the newsroom with reaction from both candidates. Chris, this is a huge shakeup within the Republican Party.
It is, Erica. The ballot now set for November, and this morning the opening salvos of that campaign have already been fired after Ken Paxton's historic victory over John Cornyn. Historic because Cornyn is the first Republican senator from Texas to lose his own party's nomination for re-election, and it was not close. Paxton, riding the wave of President Trump's endorsement, garnered 64% of the vote, and that leaves Cornyn, who served 4 straight terms as senator, on the outside, snapping a streak of 18 election victories. At their respective campaign parties, the two men acknowledged the changing of the guard.
When everyone in Washington told him to abandon me and abandon the people of Texas, he didn't listen. Instead, he gave his complete and total endorsement. President Trump is the leader of our party, and his endorsement in this is the most powerful force in politics. And I'm honored to have his support, and I look forward to working with him in the Senate to deliver for Texas.
Senate, and I've always supported the Republican ticket, and I intend to do so again in this general election. I've said throughout this race that I trust the voters of Texas, and they've made their decision, and I must respect it.
Meanwhile, Paxton's November opponent, Democrat James Tallarico, went immediately on the attack with his first campaign video calling Paxton the most corrupt politician in America in an ad titled "The People versus Ken Paxton." Matt, back to you.
All right. Thank you so much, Chris. In the race to replace Paxton as Attorney General, State Senator Mays Middleton won the GOP nomination, defeating Congressman Chip Roy. Middleton branded himself as MAGA Mays, aligning himself with President Trump's America First agenda. And he'll go on to face Democrat State Senator Nathan Johnson in November. Johnson defeating his challenger, Joe Jaworski, in last night's runoff. If Johnson wins, he'd be the first Democrat Attorney General in Texas in more than 20 years.
They have turned a blind eye to corruption. They've pledged absolute fealty to Donald Trump. And even if you like Donald Trump, the office of Texas Attorney General is not supposed to pledge fealty to any president.
We're also tracking another high-profile race on the Democratic side, the nomination for newly drawn House District 33. Colin Allred beating Julie Johnson by less than 2,000 votes. Let's get to Kevin Reese, who was with the Allred campaign.
Here at his election watch party on Tuesday night, Colin Allred did not officially declare victory, even though at that point in the evening he was 10 percentage points ahead, and he said the numbers were looking good. This was, however, before the Associated Press officially called the race in his favor. But even then, in his speech before the supporters here at his election watch party, he already sounded like someone who is sharpening his attacks against the Republican Party and the race ahead in November. This is part of what he had to say.
When we beat them in November and we take back the Congress, we're going to hold them accountable. I'm telling you. I want to see butts in seats. I want to see hearings. I want to see investigations. I want to see us hold them accountable. They've been breaking the law. And we're going to make sure folks know about it.
Then just before 11 p.m. Tuesday night, Allred did declare victory in a written statement, saying that he is deeply honored by the trust the people of the 33rd District have placed in me, and I am ready to fight. Now he moves on to November. In Dallas, I'm Kevin Reese.
This race pitted two longtime Democratic allies against each other. Our Brittany Costello was there when Julie Johnson conceded the race and talked about what's next.
Congresswoman Julie Johnson spoke to supporters saying she was proud of the work her team put into this campaign and proud of the work that they've done over the last several years in fighting for North Texans. She recognized the will of the voters and says she respects that.
Thank you so much to everyone who's been on this journey. I've had the great privilege to serve North Texas for 8 years. So I'm going to congratulate Mr. Allred. I'm Team Democrat.
She says now is the time to unify Democrats to face off against the Republicans in November. She says she plans to support the Democratic ticket. In Dallas, I'm Brittany Costello.
Colin Allred will face off against Republican Patrick David Gillespie in November. Gillespie won the runoff against John Sims with 57% of the vote.